Hey guys, Action Jackson here. Today we're going to be talking about The Shape of Water. So The Shape of Water is Guillermo Del Toro's newest monster movie, and it was marketed kind of as an odd couples movie with a twist. So it kind of follows the cleaning lady for this secret government facility in kind of a New York City-esque environment, but there's a plot twist. The cleaning lady is mute. And that kind of makes her special in a couple different ways. But essentially what happens is the new security guy, played by Michael Shannon, brings in this missing link or like merman kind of thing. If you've ever seen Hellboy or Hellboy 2, which is another Guillermo Del Toro flick, kind of like Abe Sapiens, just this weird like merman looking thing, brings him in and he needs to be studied. This is the 50s, we have to beat Russia. He has to be studied, we have to find out more about him. So Michael Shannon's just beating the crap out of him, going ham, and this cleaning lady walks in and he's just bloody and defenseless and she has to clean up the mess. So that's kind of how the movie gets set up. And it's this love story between this kind of defenseless creature and this mute woman. This movie does a few things really well. A lot of movies try and do a few different things, you know, they want to be this, but they're trying to be that, but they're looking like they're this. Whereas this movie, you know, it executes many genres extremely well at the same time as it's that odd couples thing. You know, it's a Cold War thriller, it's got a lot of suspense in it, and it all just comes together into this beautiful thing. Yeah, a couple of the positives about this movie. Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon has been in so much since Nocturnal Animals, and it seems like every preview I see, he's in a pretty decent part in that movie. But in this film, he executes just as he always does. You know, his character really plays on kind of power roles, and you know, he's always got the biggest in the room, and he has to show it. So he's you know, he's kind of got that asshole kind of character, so he's always chomping on some like hard candy because the screenwriters had to show that he's an asshole. But it works. He really makes it work and pulls it off. But the other standout in this movie is Richard Jenkins, and you probably don't know that name. I didn't. I had to look it up. But I really needed to look it up after his role in this movie. You'll know him from he was the dad in Step Brothers, and you know that weird like director dude agent guy in The Cabin in the Woods. But in this role, he is him and the mute woman are friends. They're neighbors, and he's kind of older, kind of almost a father figure to her. And you know, they're always talking in their sign language, and it's really cute, the relationship they have. And he, as well as Octavia Spencer, her other work friend, they provide the comic relief, but they're also really good supporting roles, kind of helping to build that character. So I mentioned that this movie has a lot going on. You know, it's a Cold War era movie, so there's a lot of those tensions, especially at this secret government facility, and that's very evident. You know, it's set in the 50s, so there's this one scene where Michael Shannon's character, he goes and he buys a new car because, you know, he actually gets outsold by the car salesman. But it's just really beautiful period piece, all those nice kind of round curves, and the cinematography shows it really well. This movie is just beautiful, you know, from the composition of the scenes, down to the acting, down to the set pieces. It's just this kind of otherworldly facility. It's very phantasmal, but it's fantastic. Fantastic in the literal sense of the word. Like, not just, oh, that was fantastic, but like fantasy. It's very kind of mystical, and it pulls you into the world that it creates. I really just cannot stress enough how compelling this movie was. I was really attached to these characters. They feel very real, very tangible, like people you would actually meet in this kind of strange set of circumstances that they're working at this secret government lab, which is really cool that they were able to pull that off. This world is just crafted down from the bottom to the top, and it just feels like it could actually happen despite all of the kind of weird fantasy elements to it. And for that reason, I'm going to give this movie an A+ grade. That's higher than just an A, not an F. This movie is hands down the best movie I've seen all year. So, The Shape of Water. Go see it. You're going to want to see this before the year ends. It's going to be up for some of those Oscar nods. And then come back and let me know what you think. I'll be here as always. Thanks for watching.